Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 4 is a workhorse that allows for multitasking across two different displays, and it has plenty of features that justify or could justify its $1,800 price tag. I'm Jason Cipriani, and in this ZDNet video, I'm going to walk through 3 things I really love about the Z Fold 4 and 2 things I wish Samsung would do a little better with. Alright, I've already done one video on the new taskbar that's on the Z Fold 4, but I think it's worth talking about again, and it's in this video here. It is the #1 reason I love the Z Fold 4 over the device I've been using for the past year, which is the Z Fold 3. So Android 12L comes pre-installed on the Z Fold 4. It is a dedicated version of Android that's built for tablets as well as foldable phones. And it has, like I said, a new taskbar feature that shows up once you get inside an app. So on the bottom here, I have 6 apps that are permanently pinned to my taskbar. And you'll notice they mirror what is on my app dock on the home screen. So those are my favorite apps, what I use the most often. And when I go into an app, they're now available on the bottom. And if I wanted to multitask, as in use 2 apps at the same time in split screen mode, or if I even wanted to open up a 3rd app, I could drag and drop them directly onto the display and then resize windows and do whatever it is you need to do, which this would be handy for triaging emails or going through Excel documents while also referring to a website to make sure the stats are right and the data's right. But this taskbar has completely changed the way I use the Z Fold 4 and the way I even look at my Z Fold 3. There is still present on the Z Fold 4 the edge panels, which can enable some sort of pinned taskbar on the side, but it wasn't as intuitive, whereas this makes it feel like you're truly using a full out tablet or even to some extent a computer. So you could tap on the app icon here, the app drawer icon, and then scroll through all the apps that are installed. So if I had another app that I wanted to open up, maybe order some Domino's, I could then drag and drop that directly out of the app drawer without having to bounce around. Samsung has said that they eventually plan on bringing the taskbar as well as everything else that's included in Android 12L to the Z Fold 3, but it hasn't commented on when that's going to happen. So right now, the Z Fold 4, as far as the foldables go, that's where it's at with the new taskbar and the multitasking features that it allows. Another feature that I really love about the Z Fold 4, and I'll admit it's not specific to this phone, but it is one that I discovered while testing it, is that the Gboard keyboard, Google's keyboard, it's called Gboard. Say that like 16 times fast and I promise you're gonna mess it up. But Gboard is now optimized for foldable phones, and it includes a split screen mode. And the reason I discovered this while testing the Z Fold 4 and didn't realize that it started rolling back out like early July, it was because it's actually pre-installed but deactivated on the Z Fold 4, whereas on the 3, you have to manually install it and then test it every once in a while to see if it's been updated. So I've switched away from Samsung's keyboard. I've used it because it has a split keyboard mode like it does, like you see here with Gboard, but it was a keyboard that I really didn't like typing on. Swipe typing on it isn't that great. And then the keys were really small, and I'll actually show you. I'll switch to the Samsung keyboard here. And the keys are a little bit smaller. The touch targets aren't as easy to find. And when you go back to the Gboard keyboard, you can see the keys are a little bit bigger. It does have some double letters here, which is a feature that I really like for a split screen keyboard. This is what it looks like out of the box, but as you can see, there is an option here, and that's how you, after you install Gboard on a foldable phone, that's how you go in and switch to the split screen or the split keyboard mode, which allows you then to type. And of course, this also is present on the cover screen. So if I wanted to type away on the cover screen, I still have Gboard here, which again is my preferred keyboard. And this is something that's especially useful on the cover screen because it is so small, it's narrow. It is a little bit wider than the Z Fold 3, but it still is not very easy to type on the Z Fold 4 using Samsung's keyboard. That keyboard is tiny. However, with the Z Fold 4 and Gboard, I think I'm gonna set some records for typing really fast on this thing. We'll see. All right, so now here's the other thing that I really like about the Z Fold 4, and that is that Samsung finally included really expensive and fancy cameras on its expensive $1,800 phone. So there's a triple camera setup on this device as there was on the previous Z Fold 3. However, instead of three 12 megapixel cameras, there is now a 12 megapixel ultra wide, a 50 megapixel main camera, and then we have a 10 megapixel telephoto that has 3 times optical zoom with 30 times space zoom. And space zoom, don't get me wrong, still a huge gimmick. The pictures that come out of space zoom look horrible. They look cartoonish. They're pixelated. They just don't look good. But the camera setup on this is something that I have complete confidence in. It's finally something that is worth the $1,800. The camera setup on the Z Fold 4 is nearly identical to that of the Galaxy S22 Plus, not the Ultra, which has a lot more powerful and impressive cameras, which is a bummer. But I have full confidence in the Z Fold 4's camera now, and instead of reaching for my iPhone 13 Pro Max, which I always have on me, in taking a photo with that when I was carrying the Z Fold 3 around, I now just keep taking pictures with the Z Fold 4. It's a great camera. It's a worthy upgrade. Finally, $1,800 well spent with decent cameras. All right, so now there's two things I don't like about the Z Fold 4, and they both have to do with the same exact thing, and that is the foldable display. I would hoped by the 4th generation, which is where we're at now, the 4th generation foldable screen on the Z Fold 4, we would be rid of the crease, which is easy to see. So the crease is not as prominent as it was on the Z Fold 3, but as you can see, it is still very clearly there. And when you use an S Pen to go across the display, you can feel it in the middle. There's a little bit of a dip, kind of feels like a bump as you're writing across the screen. So it's something to get used to. I had hoped the crease would be gone by now, or at least very, very minimal, but it is still there. It's still ever present and gets in the way at times. Also, the other thing that kind of annoys me and I really wish would be fixed by now is the fact that the phone doesn't fold flat. As you can see on the left side, there's a pretty big gap right by the hinge, and then it kind of narrows down where the screen is almost touching here and it's folded flat. But this big gap allows pocket debris, pocket lint and dust and other debris to get inside there, which can scratch the internal screen, which is what you have the Z Fold 4 for. And then also it would help streamline the entire experience by having the device fold flat. It'd be smaller in your pocket, take up less space, and more comfortable to carry with you every day. If you have a Z Fold 4 in your hands right now, let me know what you like or what you dislike about the device and what you want to see changed or kept, let's say, a year from now in the Z Fold 5. Once again, I'm Jason Cipriani with ZDNet. Make sure to check out zdnet.com for more tech videos and tech news just like this, as well as how-to tips and tricks.